Hi champs, if you're new, welcome. If you're not new, then welcome back. My name is Frances Okeke. Today, I'll be talking about perfection. Who defines perfection? What is perfection? Oh champ, we look for it everywhere. In our lives, in other people. We look for it in our jobs, our parents, our children, our spouses, and our academic lives, even in our relationships. It is the one thing that makes us equals. That search for perfection. Everyone is looking for perfection, the perfect life. The question I ask is there really anything like the perfect life, like perfection? We want the perfect job, but can we have that alone and be satisfied? If we get it, that is when we realize that there is another part of our lives that needs some tweaking up. A perfect life is the one thing that we're always in a search for. We're always looking for it. We're never satisfied with what we have. We want more and better. We want everything to be perfect. We want, when you get this, you keep want. If you feel wealthy now, you just want more wealth. Yeah. So no one is perfect, really. Though some people seem to think that they are, and tend to judge others for not living up to their idea of perfection. But no one is perfect. I'm telling you, no one is. So what is perfection? Who sets the standards and says what is perfect or not? What and who defines a perfect relationship, a perfect job, a perfect life, a perfect person? How do you tell what is perfect or who is perfect when we are all flawed? Every one of us, we are flawed. Yes, we are not perfect, but the rule on defining perfection is really very funny. Well, let me try and explain what I mean. Person A takes a look at a job vacancy. To him, the job is not good enough for him. B takes a look at that same job vacancy and screams, "Perfect!" and is happy to get the job. Same thing applies in relationships. Sharon breaks up with Fumi because he sees many flaws in her and cannot imagine putting up with them for the rest of his life. Akin sees Fumi and says to himself, "Where have you been all my life?" Those same flaws that Sharon saw, Akin sees as perfection. Well, every time I sit down to think about all this, I'm amazed. What even defines a perfect holiday? Like Valentine's Day or Christmas. For person A, you might be sitting at home with her hubby as a husband and spending the holiday together, cooking, watching a movie, cuddled up in front of the TV. For B, it could be a visit to the fanciest restaurants in town. For C, it is a trip to some exotic place. And for D, it's a trip overseas. For E, visiting family. See, I think it's the same thing in every facet of life. A sees a perfect wedding day to be a very big one with all the stops, all the drama, all the, spend all that money, plus the whole city has got to be in attendance, you know what I'm saying? Then for B, it's a small, like a really small wedding with family and close friends, and the little reception in a family living room. That's her definition of the perfect wedding. So, what am I trying to say about perfection? It's relative. It is different strokes for different people. Even your definition of love and what is romantic will differ from that of your neighbors. Never expect that yours and your neighbors will be the same. We tend to look down on people with different views from ours. So how do you find this perfection? Truthfully, I'm searching for it too. But one thing I've noticed is that our definition of that term perfection changes as we grow and experience different things, and as we get to know ourselves better, develop a relationship with ourselves, and what do I like, what do I don't like, what do I want, what stuff like that. So I can say one thing: it is finding what makes you happy, and not what makes other people happy. It is finding what you like, what suits and thrills you. You, champ, alone can define what perfection is to you in any sphere of your life. And not your friends, not your family, not your spouse, not the government, not the society, not anybody. You define it. Life isn't perfect, the world isn't perfect, and people aren't perfect. But you can make a decision to make it all perfect for you, no matter that situation you're in, and be happy no matter what. That's it. Being happy no matter what your spouse has done, the society, the world, whatever it is, whatever you're going through, only you can define your perfection and your happiness. No one can make perfection, whatever it is perfect for you, you define it. Just like you define your happiness. If you're confused about it, or you're like, Francis, what are you trying to say? You're speaking Oyibo, big. You're speaking all the English and trying to confuse me with it. Well, just sit down and think about it. Who are you? What's your purpose? What do you like? What makes you happy? What can you wake up, this morning and you can do it easily and it makes you so happy, like it fills you with joy for the rest of the day. And then if you're like, okay, I don't really know who I am, you can sit down and think about it, ask yourself certain questions. But if it's too confusing, especially if you're a Christian, you ask God about it. He knows you better than you know yourself anyways. And ask and you shall receive. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Seek and you shall find. I don't think that's only about material things and the things that we want. It could also be about you discovering yourself and discovering your purpose here on earth, what you were put on earth to fulfill. So ask Him, ask yourself, ask God, ask, and you shall find. So champ, nobody can define perfection for you. Nobody can tell you, okay, Dad, get this, get that, and your life will be perfect. That's up to you. It's for you to decide what perfection is to you in every sphere, at every stage of your life. You define your perfection. You define it. So champs, I hope my thoughts on this have been able to help you somehow, as imperfect as they are. And do not forget that you're a champ, and I love you, but as always, God loves you more. Till next time, my name is Francis Okeke. Bye champs.